Hello everybody, welcome to episode 158 of Show Fever. Today we'll be going over episode 1165 of the One Piece anime. This episode starts off with us just getting some more info about the Owl Library. We learn that Biblo's been there for a very long time, and that he is actually the reason why the books enlarge once they enter the Owl Library, because it's his ability that does it. So presumably Biblo has some type of devil fruit, but it's not confirmed. He might just be magic or something like that. But yeah, so then we ultimately just kind of learn some more stuff about the library, nothing too major, and then we end up getting to see as Luffy is playing around with some of the kids at the school area, and he is in fact not really playing to their content, he's playing to his own, because we see as they're swinging, the kids are freaking out, Usopp's freaking out, but he keeps swinging anyways, but ultimately they end up getting off, and Nami ends up beating the crap out of Usopp and Luffy, because of their shenanigans with the kids. But then we see as they're kind of chilling around, and Luffy's kind of disappointed because he expected a warrior culture in Elbaf, and he's getting these domesticated young children who are just here to learn and enjoy life rather than be warriors. But yeah, so we see this kind of play out a little bit more, and then ultimately we see as Colin, who is, well, he's the child of Ripley and a very important character to come up. I won't say it because obviously I know some people aren't caught up on the manga, so I won't state his name, but he is very important. But yeah, so we see as he is traveling along, we actually see as he sees Franky looking at the Atom trees while he's out searching, because he's the reason why he wanted to go and look around once they reached Elbaf was to see the Atom trees and to see if Elbaf was actually composed of Atom trees. But yeah, so we see this, and he notices that Franky is one of the members of the Straw Hat, so he ends up rushing back to the school where he ends up attacking Luffy, and Luffy, he, I guess, reacts to smoke with smoke, because he jumps up in the air, goes gear 3, and whips out an elephant rifle right at a small child, and luckily Colin was able to dodge it, but Luffy is just about to straight up kill this young child because he was goofing around and wanted to fight with a Yonko. But yeah, so we see this, and then ultimately we see that all the other kids are freaking out, they're getting mad, and they're like, Luffy's scary, but then Ripley comes up and she's like, yo, Colin, you good? And Colin's like, yeah, I love that. So we see they interact, and this is where we actually learn that Ripley is Colin's mother. And we kind of see this plays out. She ends up revealing that Colin is in fact a hybrid between a giant, her, and a human. So his father is a human, and he is kind of disappointed in the fact that he's aging while Ripley is not, and that's why he won't marry her, because Ripley just keeps getting remaining the same look and relatively, I guess, same figure and all of that, while her father, well, not her father, but Colin's father keeps getting older because he's a human. But yeah, so we have a very odd dynamic there, because humans are substantially smaller than giants in One Piece, but let's not think about that. So, Eldon ends up progressing. We see as Sanji is astonished by this fact as well. But, yeah, so after that, we see then as everyone starts to join up together, and we see that Luffy's like, yo, I'm hungry, so let's go get some food. So they ultimately end up going back to the Owl Library, where they meet up with Robin and Bonnie, Chopper, and all of them, and talk about them with like, yo, or y'all want to go to the feast? And they're like, no, we're going to stay here in the library for a little bit longer. But yeah, so after that, we see as things continue along, and during this, they're about to leave the Owl Library, and before they can, Gerd's like, wait, hold up a second, I got some stuff for you. So we see as she makes the Elbaf attire for Robin, Brooke, Jinbei, and Franky. And they all look good in their attire. Robin's like, I don't know how to describe it. It's like a part mini, part like long skirt. It's really cool looking. Like I feel like it's more modest than I was expecting from Toei, or expecting Toei to do, and it looks nice because of its modesty. It just looks generally cool. But yeah, and also Brooke's fit is obviously sick as well. Franky's and Jinbei's both look well as well. I'd say Jinbei's is probably the worst looking out of the Elbaf outfits, but like that's not really saying much. But yeah, so we see as everyone prepares to get ready for the feast, and ultimately, like I said, Chopper and Robin end up staying behind, but Franky, Jinbei, and Brooke end up going because Franky has got his goal of figuring out, yo, this place is like the largest atom tree of all time, and it's what the Sunny's made out of, and I was just really excited to discover that. So ultimately, they all end up heading to the feast, where we see as Dory, Brogy, and all the other giants kind of regale the whole crew about the stories of what has happened and all of that, and how they've interacted, and we see as the feast begins and everything, and then we see as this big boat comes in, and it has upon it Chief Jarul, or Harul, however you want to say his name, who is coming to join the feast. And we see as Luffy, when he first sees Jarl, he's like, whoa, what's wrong? He freaks out because Jarl has a sword through his head, where his helmet saved him somehow. I believe that he like pushed his brain aside where it didn't get hit. But yeah. So we see this, and that's kind of when the feast portion of this episode kind of ends, and then we go to like the interesting stuff where we see as the God's Knights, or I'm just gonna say their names, Gunko and Shamrock, have entered. It's called like Arhurst Castle or something like that. And we see as they're interacting with two giant guards, and the giants are obviously kind of undermining and underestimating the humans. When ultimately we see as an ability is whipped out, and this one giant is like pinned to the ground, his arms forced back, like it's pinned behind him, like how they do it. Like I think it's called an arm. Is that an arm bar? I'm not for certain. Yeah, so we see that, and ultimately she's like, tell us where Loki is, and we see that they are in fact both searching for Loki because they want to find Loki for some unknown reason to us. But yeah, so that's all it really was for episode 1165 of One Piece. I'm really ready to actually get into the action because I know it is coming soon. I hope, because I was kind of disappointed with this episode because like the title included discussion of the God's Knights and Loki, or the Holy Knights and Loki. So I was like, dang, it kind of sucked that we only get like literally 2-3 minutes with them. But yeah, I know we'll be getting more time with them soon. We'll be getting plenty of time after the arc kind of gets going. So yeah, I'm just ready to see that. But that's all there really was for episode 1165 of One Piece. And that's all I really have for episode 159 of Shelf Review. So thank you very much for watching.